All right, so I've had some time to sit and think and let this shit stew for a little bit about yesterday's game. Um, the Bears lose 41-10. It was it was about as bad as you could imagine playing against the defending Super Bowl champs. I mean, we've had all Monday to just really sit and think about what happened to this team in the direction they're going, and they're going down. They're going downhill, and they're going downhill fast. In my honest opinion, it's the worst I've ever seen the Bears, being a fan. I believe it's the worst Bears have been in probably since anyone here has been alive. I mean, this is worse than the 90s Bears, y'all. Like the mid to late 90s, early 2000 Bears. I mean, this is a lot worse, dude. Um, Eberflus isn't the guy. He's 3-17 now as a Bears head coach. I believe we've lost 13 straight games now. We haven't won a game since last October against the Patriots. And it's been an entire year since we've actually won a home game, with the last one being last September 21st. So, I mean, it's a very, I think it's, or the 25th actually, is a year ago today, I believe was the last time the Bears won a home game. Everything is just falling apart. There's really not much to say that the Bears didn't already show you. I mean, there's always so much hype going into the season, and we were led to believe that things were going to change, and things only got worse. And I believe if somebody like Mark Trestman was only given 2 years, Eberflus should be done too. It's just one thing we all know is that the Bears don't fire their coaches mid-season or during the season, which is absolutely ridiculous. It's almost like a punishment for the coach because they're not going to pay him just sitting home. They're going to be like, "Look, bro, you're gonna work. You're gonna work for your money. So we're gonna keep you the whole 17 games." So which kind of sucks because I mean the Bears, I mean they're the bottom of the bottom. You hire a defensive coach and his defenses suck. His defensive coordinator had to fucking resign forcefully. The Bears are playing hush-hush with what happened, which is dumb because we all know that it's all going to get exposed, whatever Alan Williams did. And that's one thing I hate, too, is that the Chicago Bears organization really does insult the media and the fans' intelligence because we know when they're lying, we know when they're sugarcoating things, and we know when they're bullshitting. So when somebody like Justin Fields came out and was pretty honest about how he felt about the play calling and how the Bears have been limiting him on how he plays, but then he had to come back out and correct everything that he said. I mean, that right there, it's bullshit. Like, bro, we know how you feel. We've all been feeling this forever. And we saw it with Mitch Trubisky, too. Like, the things that he was good at, the Bears stopped letting him do. And then he just fell off he fell. And it's like that with a lot of quarterbacks. And it's like that with just a lot of players. I'm just sick of seeing us sign all these players. And how many Hall of Famers have we had on this team which resulted in nothing? It's such a waste of time. It sucks because I can't even get excited about when we sign big free agents anymore. I think the last guy I was honestly excited about was Khalil Mack, but that was it, And I mean, look what happened to him. I mean, we entirely wasted his career with Chicago. One good year. I mean, he had a good year a couple times with us, a couple good years, but I mean, we didn't get the most out of that guy. And everything we asked him to do, I mean, that's why he got hurt all the goddamn time. I mean, what is it about us trading Roquan because we saw enough from him where we're like, yeah, let's just get rid of him. An all-pro linebacker. But for some reason, like coaches we can keep, I mean, I don't care if their contracts are guaranteed. Fuck them, dude. But we can get rid of an all-pro like Roquan? Give me a break. Give me a fucking break, dude. I mean, we signed all these linebackers in the offseason, but not once did we address the defensive line the way we should have. Are you fucking kidding me? Meanwhile, we have the most cap space in the league, still due to this day. It's all bullshit, man. It's all bullshit. It's completely bullshit. Justin Fields, man, you know, I didn't have the most faith in him when we first drafted him. But last year he completely changed my mind. Completely. I mean, the motherfucker showed that he's athletic. He can run the ball. He's mobile. I mean, for God's sakes, we sat him in the game where he could have broke the record for most rushing yards by QB in a season. And I'm just like, for what? And then this preseason, we barely played our starters. For what? Because they were ready to go? Give me a break. And it's just, there's no end in sight of this shit. And everyone's just like, sell the team. We could sell the team, but what is it going to do? I mean, I know it'll change ownership and they might have a new vision, but I don't know, man. The Bears are just fucking cursed, man. I mean, that probably is the best solution if the Bears sold the team. But let's be honest, y'all. Would you sell this team? It's free money for these guys. These owners are getting so much fucking money off this team. And the reason why they're getting so much money off this team is because they're writing on the fucking name of this team. Like, look at this logo. This is like the logo from the goddamn 40s. Like when the Bears won all those championships back then, that's this logo. They're literally selling hoodies with the old logo from the 40s because they're getting money from chumps like myself and a bunch of other people. But that's the problem too, is I don't reflect on these days of Bears teams. I reflect on the teams that I grew up with in the 2000s and the early 2010s. Like those are my teams. Granted, we didn't win a Super Bowl, but fuck. But that's the Chicago Bears in a nutshell. They bank on nostalgia. They bank on nostalgia. Every time you go to a Bears game, who's there? Charles Tillman, Dick Butkus, Brian Urlacher, they'll pull Bears like Jerry Azuma and fucking whoever out of their ass just to come to the games. Matt Forte, Lance Briggs, everybody, Alex Brown, they'll pull all these dudes out of their butt to just please the fans while they're there. Yeah, we suck, but look, do you remember the guys that used to play for this team? Do you remember the guys that used to bust their ass for this team? Do you remember all these Hall of Famers that we used to have that didn't get one Super Bowl or even get a chance to play in a Super Bowl? Matt Forte is the biggest robbery the Bears ever had. I mean, we had that guy forever, and he was probably one of the greatest running backs we ever had. And that motherfucker didn't see one Super Bowl. You got to be kidding me. It's bullshit, dude. And I love all those guys. I love them to death because those guys fucking gave their heart and soul for this team. But year after year after year, the Bears just decided to address the wrong things with this team. They decided to hold on to coaches longer than what they should have. They decided to pay certain players that didn't quite deserve that money, and they decided to take in players like, what the fuck? We signed Jared Allen back in 15, 14? I think it was 2014 we signed him to a 4-year contract, and a year later we traded him? It's shit like that, dude. It's just shit like that. And it's just so common with this fucking team. And it got to a point now, I can't even name you most of the players on this fucking team. Like, on the defense. Who the fuck plays defense? I mean, there's Jalen Johnson, there's Brisker, there's TJ Edwards, there's fucking just... Who's on the goddamn line, though? I don't know any of these chumps. They're all suck. They all suck. They're bums. And it's just like, you got guys like... Eddie Jackson, who's riding off the coattail of his 2018 self. I mean, that dude, it's been said before, fucking guys like Adrian Amos made Eddie Jackson into the player he was. Because while Amos was handling the fucking dirty work, Eddie Jackson was great because he could make the big plays. They complemented each other well. But in a year where we had to decide to sign Amos or Bryce Callahan, we got rid of both of them. Because we're like, oh, no, it's okay. Eddie Jackson's good enough to you can put anybody with him. So we signed Clinton Dix, and we all know what fucking happened there. Eddie Jackson got exposed. It's just, it sucks, dude. And it really bums me out because I really feel like this team is just, it's never going to be good. It's never going to be good, at least in my lifetime, man. And I'm only 31 years old, dude. Like, I got a long ways to go, hopefully. But it's just, like, look at the game Sunday. They showed Taylor Swift more than they fucking showed the Bears. Like, I got so sick of hearing about Travis Kelce and his girlfriend, Taylor Swift. Like, who gives a fuck? But the problem is the Bears are so uninteresting. Nobody cares about this team. So they're filling in storylines with players' relationships in their personal life. It's so stupid. It's so dumb. But the Bears are that bad. Who wants to talk about them? Who wants to give them any kind of attention? Because you're just wasting your time. Because it's the same old story. They are the laughingstock. We are the new Cleveland Browns of the NFL. We are. We 100% are. And unfortunately, until fans stop going to the games, which will never happen because Bears fans want so bad for this team to be good, they're always going to go to the games. They will always go from September to about mid-November. It's late November, December is when the attendance starts falling off because then people can start saying, well, it's snowing, well, it's like fucking 10 degrees, and the Bears already have like 9 losses, 10 losses, so we're not going to go. But when there's just any kind of ounce of hope, Bears fans will always show up in that stadium. But unfortunately, things will not change until you start hurting those owners' pockets, man. And the first trip to hurting their pockets is to stop showing up to the games. Like, period. It worked for the Cubs. It worked for the Blackhawks. It started working for the Bulls because the Bulls actually started fucking giving a shit again when fans stopped coming to the goddamn United Center. You know how easy it is to sell out the United Center? When the Blackhawks and Bulls are on it, that place is sold out for fucking months, dude. So the problem is, it's just, and I was at that game last year against the Vikings in January, or this year I should say, back in January, the very last game of the season. Soldier Field looked like you could just see blue, empty seats everywhere. But I'm just like, if it could be like this in September, that'd be incredible. Because then maybe the owners would be like, you know what, fuck, maybe we should sell this team, or maybe we should start giving a shit again because this is not good. But the owners will never sell this team because it's free money. They know fans are going to show up. They know they're going to buy the merch, and their pockets are full, and they're good to go, dude. They will never sell this team. You'd be a fool to sell this team because you are making so much money off the fans. And it's sad because we're being whored out by this team. And so are the players and all the coaches. And then everyone's like, well, we can tank again and get the number 1 pick. Okay, and then what? We get fucking dude Caleb from USC? And then what? We ruin his career too? That's what we do. You go to Chicago and your career is done. I truly believe Justin Fields can flourish anywhere but here. And I wholeheartedly believe that. He has a lot of talent. I don't know so much as a quarterback, but there's ways to work around that. And the Bears are just not that team. I mean, we go out and hire a defensive coach who wasn't really that spectacular to begin with. And now, and then they're saying shit like, well, the Lions almost made the playoffs last year and they lost all those games, or shit. It was like this for the Colts in 2018. We started 1-5 and made the playoffs. Is that how low we fucking got? Is that we're comparing ourselves to all those fucking other teams that didn't even make the playoffs or just barely made the playoffs and then lost in the first round? Like, that is the standard now for this team. It is so embarrassing, and the standard is so fucking low that they are comparing themselves to other bums from past years, to teams that don't even have anything to do with us. But that's what it is, man. When you let shit in and you let it stay, it's just that's how it's going to be for a long time. It's going to take a long time to get that stench out of the building. And unfortunately, it's been like that for years. I'm so sick of this team. And then it's just like you hear guys like Pat Mahomes in his post game, and he's just like, I love beating the Bears because they fucking passed on me for Mitch Trubisky. Fuck yeah, I love beating them. And he's killed us, I think, twice now. So it's just, I don't know, man. This team is garbage. I hate them. I hate them so much, and I hate what they do to us fans, and I hate what they do to these players, man. That's what really hurts the most, is what they do to the extraordinary talent. There's a lot of talented players that have come and go from this team, and a lot of those guys deserve championship rings. But the Bears are so fucking just, they're so stubborn. They're so stupid. Like 2018, that was our last chance, closest chance to winning the Super Bowl. And Cody Parkey was a big problem that whole season. And then what do you do after that Lions game when he hit the fucking post 4 times? 4 times. He should have been done after that game. He cost us the game in Miami as well. And what do? We keep him. We keep him. Oh, and Matt Nagy. Oh, I got confidence in him. He's blah blah blah. And look what he did, man. He fucking doinked that kick in the wild card game, and it's been shit since. That's the problem, dude. You need to hold these players accountable. If they're not doing their job on a consistent basis, then fucking get rid of them. You can have only so, your faith in someone can only go so far. If they keep proving to you that they're not getting any better as a person, as a player, whatever it is, eventually you just got to learn to let them go. And I think that's the whole theme of this video, is learning to let go, which I feel like the Bears ownership should do. They should just let go. Just let go of this team. Just let go. Please. You guys have wasted so many careers, so many fans' times. I planned on going to the Vikings game on October 15th, but I don't even want to go. Like, it costs so much goddamn money just to go to a Bears game. And it's unbelievable that ticket prices are still as expensive as they are. If I want to go to the Bears-Vikings game in October, about a month from now, or actually it's in about 3 weeks, it's going to cost me over $350, okay, for 2 tickets. And that's like before tax, and that's before fees. That is fucking insane. So you're telling me that I'm possibly going to see a team by that time that's 0-6, and I'm paying over $300, $400 to sit in the fucking grandstands? You got to be out of your goddamn mind, dude. And that's the problem, too. The Bears and the scalpers and all that, they can all get away with selling these fucking tickets because people are just going to eat them up and buy them. And the only thing you're paying for, I've been to almost 50 Bears games in the past like fucking 10, 13 years, okay? The only thing that you are paying for going to a Bears game when they suck this bad is the experience. And that's it. You're paying for the experience. You're paying for the tailgate. And honestly, you're going to spend more money tailgating than you are actually going to the game. So it's like, pick your poison, dude. So it's just like, it's a nightmare getting into Soldier Field. It's a nightmare getting out. It's a nightmare parking there, even tailgating. Like, if you drive a truck, you're fucked because everything's so tightly packed. Everything's so just fucking horrible. And this video kind of went off the rails, but my mind's just everywhere with this team right now. And it's just a goddamn shame. And then let me say this. The Bears are offering this thing called the Ultimate Tailgate Experience, where they host their own tailgate at the games. And they're charging like $250 per person. Are you fucking kidding me? And that doesn't include game day tickets. So I'm paying $250 to go to your stupid tailgate, okay? And I think you get drinks and shit, but $250... Who the fuck do they think has the money to go to this fucking shit? What the fuck? Your team is garbage, and you're basically asking your fans to spend almost $1,000 on one game. That's the shit I'm talking about. And people will pay it because they're chumps. Just like this fucking team. And they always have been chumps. I hate this goddamn team. I hate it so much. I hate the players. I hate the coaches. I hate the ownership. I hate everything about this team. I used to love this team with all my heart. And I used to just fucking dedicate all my time and passion and everything into this team as a fan. Because I loved this team to death. And I wanted this team to succeed so bad. And I wanted to see myself and everybody else I can speak for, wanted to see this team win a Super Bowl so bad. Because this city deserves another Super Bowl. They did. But year after year, the Bears just say, they top themselves. Well, how can we do it worse? And it sucks, dude. This team blows. Fuck this team. Fuck the Bears, dude. I don't got much left to say. This team sucks, dude.